First, let's take a look at George Mcleod of the Dallas Mavericks, who tied an NBA record this year with 10 three-point field goals against the Phoenix Suns in December. Had a big game, 33 points in his last outing before this All-Star weekend. So George Mcleod will be starting from the left, and on the right, Tim Legler of the Washington Bullets, who leads the NBA with nearly a 52%. That's amazing, Danny. Three-point percentage.
Yeah, he's been a huge boost for the Washington Bullets coming off the bench, and particularly hitting the threes.
So they're ready to go. A little tension in these people as well, I'm sure. You've been there.
No question. Legler's had some experience, though. He won the three-point shootout in the CBA, and he's shooting for his new baby, who was induced on February 1st. He wanted me to be sure to say hi to Jennifer and Lauren at home, who couldn't be here. Well, Mcleod, he said he wanted to really take his time because earlier, when he was working out at it, that he took too much time, and he wanted to make sure that at the end of his racks, he had time to go.
Legler hits the money ball. That's a big one.
Legler's in a great rhythm. Mcleod, he needs this when he got the money ball. Mcleod, in his favorite spot, the wing area is the one he wants to can. Right now, he's not doing so well in that one spot. And this is a big one for him. Oh, yeah. That's 6 in a row for Legler.
That of the record is 19 by Craig Hodges. Legler is not as comfortable shooting from the left side as he is from the right. So this is not comfortable for him, although he hits the money ball. Legler defeats George Mcleod with those unofficial scores to advance. Perhaps we'll see what the others do, but I'll tell you, 23 points. That's more than anyone got last year in the first round, and Legler hit all 5 money balls.
Well, you know, they said that 15 points in the first round last year was a good round, but now that the line is closer, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it, Danny?
Absolutely, and last year it wasn't indicative in the scores, but I think it will be this year. Legler had 2 long streaks right there. He had 5 in a row and then 6 in a row.
Mcleod gave it a little rally there for a while,
you know,
Reggie.
he was shooting it well. This was a good spot for him, top of the key. But when he went to the money ball, he nailed this one. But this is the spot that he really had a problem with, the wing. And he told me earlier that that's where he wanted to nail him.
Well, last year they moved the line into 22 feet all the way around, but no one managed to get 20 points in the first round. But a very good performance by Legler, 23, Mcleod 18. And of course, both could very well still be alive because we still have 6 shooters to go. Here's Clifford Robinson, 6'10". He's got to be one of the tallest, I think, ever to compete in this. Deadlift shrimp right about that time. Second most three-point field goals, however, in the NBA, going against Dennis Scott, who has the most in the league.
Well, this could be a key. Remember this, that Legler made 23. Now, the first and second guys, if they get real good scores, could end up having to wait an awful long time before they shoot again. Could really pay dividends for him at the end.
Dennis Scott, who has made at least 1 three-pointer for a franchise record 51 consecutive games. Robinson will start from the left corner of the court, and Dennis Scott from the right.
Dennis Scott told me that he was better suited for this last year. This year he's been trying to work on just being an all-around player. Now they want him to be in a three-point shooting contest. It's important in the first rack. He said the key was to get 3 out of 5. And he didn't get 3 out of 5, but he did hit the money ball.
Now Cliff is changing his style. He's going to a set shot. He's particularly a jump shooter. But you know, Cliff Robinson, I think he belonged in the All-Star game this year. He has a pretty good attitude just to be here and participate in the three-point shootout. He wants to beat Clyde and Michael Jordan's all-time lows. That was his main goal.
I talked to Dennis Scott. He said that, Reggie, I'm going to tell you something. Everybody thinks it's a lot of fun, but I want to win this. He said, this is going to be fun for me if I can walk up to him after and say, thanks for the paycheck.
He's hit 3 money balls. Dennis Scott has. Legler hit all 5.
That's what's hurting Cliff right now. He's been able to hit a lot of shots, but he has not been able to convert on the money ball.
Dennis Scott is in a massive rhythm over here, hitting almost all 5 balls and the money ball. It's a 7 in a row. 8. Oh my, and the money ball. Oh!
He hit 4 money balls to Dennis Scott, and Clifford Robinson just said, what am I going to do against this guy? An easy win. And remember, they're not going head-to-head, but Clifford Robinson does not walk off as if he is going to last into the semifinals.
No, he definitely won't with an 11 score, but Cliff did pretty well. He's not as pure a shooter as a lot of these guys. Cliff is a very versatile, all-around basketball player.
Dennis Scott right here was in an incredible rhythm. He hit all 5 of these balls and the money ball, and then went over and hit 3 or 4 more.
Cliff hit all the other balls, shot the regular balls pretty well, but he did not convert on any of the money balls, and that cost him in the final run. I think the key for Dennis Scott in this is he was really working. He said, I worked hard at this. Last time I came and played in this, just came and did it. This time I worked at it. I worked on shooting from the left to the right.
Here are the standings so far. Legler with 23, Dennis Scott with 19, George Mcleod with 18, and Clifford Robinson with 11, with still 4 more shooters to go. Here is Dana Barros, who finished second 2 years ago behind Mark Price. This is his 4th appearance representing the Boston Celtics, and a lot of people think this guy has a great shot. Steve Kerr, who's 3rd in the league right now, holds the NBA career record for the highest three-point shooting percentage. Kerr will start from the right side of the court and Barros from the left.
I think Steve Kerr's got a great opportunity here because this is his third try. And you know when a guy doesn't make it the first 2 times, he's really worked hard at it.
He's hungry.
He is very hungry. Matter of fact, I saw him in Chicago with the ball of racks out working on his game. He said on a 10-day road trip, he had 4 solid days of 3 times a day working on this game.
Dana Barros is red hot.
Dana Barros is a great shooter, and he holds the NCAA record for most threes in a consecutive games and the NBA record. So, you know, he practices a lot of three-pointers.
Kerr hits the money ball, however, to climb back in.
Kerr said the top of the key was his favorite spot. He's not done well from up there, but he's got a chance to hit the money ball, and this still makes it big for him. Dana Barros is on a good roll, too. He's just hit the money ball. He needs to have a strong finish here.
This is a great battle going on right now.
And see, right here toward the end is when your arms start getting a little bit tired. You may not be getting as much lift. And it's important to really concentrate. It's going to be tough for these guys to shoot jump shots to get all the balls done, to get all the balls off here. Well, Steve Kerr said he didn't care if he didn't get them all. He just wanted to make the ones he shot.
And Kerr, who made 4 money balls, misses the last one.
Had a chance to go ahead.
He might have rushed that. There's a guy that is enjoying it. Isaiah Thomas, the boss man of the Toronto Raptors. Steve Kerr had 4 money balls and ended up with 18 points. But Dana Barros, this was the best head-to-head we've had thus far.
Yeah, you're talking about 2 great shooters. And Dana, 18 should be good enough, Dick. 15 in the past has always gotten guys into the finals, but 18 should get them in. But there's still 2 great shooters to come.
They had to surpass 11. That was the total by Clifford Robinson, and both did.
Steve Kerr had a nice rhythm going. He didn't make the money ball on that particular shot, but look at him. He's one of the guys that looks at the rack. Some guys like to keep their eye on the rim, but Steve Kerr takes his focus off the rack onto the rim and back and forth.
So the 18 points apiece for Barros and Kerr. So you have now Legler, Scott, Barros, Kerr, and Mcleod, a 3-way tie. So something's got to give here as Hubert Davis of the New York Knicks, who is really developing, and of course the Knicks using him more as an outside shooter. He's second in the league, one of only 2 for over 50%. And there, of course, the defending champion Glen Rice, who beat Reggie Miller by 1 point, 17-16 in the final round last year.
Dick, Glen Rice was so smooth in the locker room before the shooting contest. He says, Reggie, it's all about rhythm. If I get the rhythm, I'm going to make a ball. Hubert Davis is a jump shooter, and it takes him a little bit longer. We'll see how he finishes on the last rack, but he has really been hot in the last week of the season. Glen Rice got a donut in the first rack, but he's warmed up. That's 3. Okay, he's got it going again. Okay, made the money ball that time.
Now Rice looks like he's getting in gear.
Well, you know, he shoots a soft shot, so he always has a chance for it to fall in if it hits the rim.
Oh, Danny loved to be out here.
Oh, I would love it right now. But Hubert Davis, these guys are putting my score to shame. Hubert Davis is shooting real well. Danny, I put your score to shame this morning.
Now, guys, 18 to avoid elimination. That's what these 2, Davis and the defending champion Glen Rice. Remember, this has been a contest of streak shooters through the years.
Right now, Hubert Davis needs to make the money ball or he's out. Oh!
And it looks like Davis and Rice were the unofficial 17. So neither one of them will advance to the semifinals.
And you know, you can tell this year, finally, that shorter line, Dick, is coming into play. The scores are a lot higher than they've ever been in the history. Well, Glen Rice said he wanted to get in the rhythm, and he started off slow. He ended fast. This is a great round for him on this rack, but the first 2 racks really killed him. Hubert shot pretty consistently all the way around. He needed to hit that money ball, though. It was a good performance, one shot made the difference. If this goes down, he makes it. Otherwise, that's the million-dollar shot, Reggie.
Danny, I think that the guys that are jump shot shooters are at a total disadvantage at this.
Oh, yeah, this is not real basketball.
So here we go. Everyone who had the 18, the three-way tie for 18, all advanced. Legler had the most with 23. And Dennis Scott, 19. Mcleod, Barros, and Steve Kerr with 18. And 4 will advance. And we will have a shootout here with Mcleod and Barros. And then Kerr will go. So we had a three-way tie for 18, and someone's going to have to lose out. 24-second tiebreaker.
I have to think if George Mcleod gets into the later rounds, he has an advantage because if you're watching, he doesn't leave the ground when he shoots. He's an arm shooter and set shot shooter. So I think those guys have the biggest advantage. Like Danny said, this isn't real basketball.
Now to break for the tie, followed by...
Well, we know one thing. We're going to have a new champion this year because Glen Rice did not survive the first round.
The first one from Mcleod.
It's different when the clock's running down, isn't it?
Especially after you just shot. Fatigue could come into play here, especially for Barrow. He is really struggling right now, and you got to think that fatigue, Reggie, just hasn't had time to come back. You know, George Mcleod can get it going. He's hit 10 in a row in one game, and he can put it down if he gets in a rhythm.
And George Mcleod has advanced. And will go against Kerr now. So the total for Mcleod was 7, and Kerr will go solo from the right side of the court.
Well, I think that's really tough. When you're going solo, you have nobody over there shooting against.
But the good thing, Reggie, he only has to make 4 to advance. So
yeah, that's true.
That's all he wants to do. Matter of fact, if he makes 4, he might as well just quit and save his energy for the next round.
Good idea. Mcleod with 7 is in. So Legler, Scott, and Mcleod. Kerr needs 4 to pass Barros and become the final semifinalist.
This is big for him after having 3 tries. This is a great opportunity for him. I don't think there's any question he'll do it.
He's halfway there.
This will do it.
One more.
Hello. Okay, rest. Just rest, Steve.
He doesn't need any more.
Take your time.
Maybe he's practicing for the next round.
Well, you know, I think that someone should have probably told me, you know, maybe he needs a coach of his own. But that's a part of the strategy.
Well, he really slowed down. He knew what he was doing out there.
He ended up with 8 points. Dikembe Mutombo on hand, checking the scoreboard. So, Tim Legler with 23. Dennis Scott with 19. Steve Kerr with 18 and Mcleod with 18. Both advance after there was a 3-way tie for the final spot. They'll go on. TNT shootout and the order in which they will fire away. Tim Legler will start it off. Legler had the most points, 23. Craig Hodges at 25 in the first round back in 1986. So pretty good performance by Legler, and we said $20,000 would come in handy for him if he can win it all, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely, and he was consistent in every rack. He consistently shot well. There's not a weak spot that he has on the floor, so I expect him to do well in the second round.
You know, he's a guy that even in the season doesn't shoot a lot of three-pointers, but is deadly from back there. Nice shot, too. Just so rhythmatic.
Oh, he's got a beautiful stroke. Off to a good start.
That's the one he needed right there. You notice how he shoots on the left side of the racks on the corner, and then he moves to the right side of the rack on the wing. So you can tell he's got a routine down. But just check the rhythm out. It's almost, if you can count the seconds in between each time. It's about 1.5 counts between each ball.
Hey, Dick, don't think that these guys aren't looking over on the side of the floor, the other guys in the competition being a little bit intimidated by Legler's hot shooting right now.
And they're over there going, oh no, it could be over, guys.
Legler is 8 for 8 in Moneyball so far. Can he make it 9? No. But he's got a pretty good total going.
Well, he's had a tremendous opportunity coming from the CBA all the years that he's played there, and now tearing up the
This is big. Yeah.
He has missed a one Moneyball in 2 rounds and a total of 22 points for Tim Legler.
huge
shooting. Oh, that's beautiful. His teammate, Juwan Howard, is pretty happy. I don't know who's happier. His wife at home for that $20,000 inducement or Juwan Howard. That's a major league shopping spree.
Right now, let's go to Cheryl.
Tim, calm, cool, collected. I mean, no smiles, no frills. You come out here, you shoot 23 your first round, 2 off the record. You come out here, you're not feeling any pressure whatsoever.
You know, it's funny. I felt kind of tight before the competition, but as soon as you put the uni on, everything goes away. You know, it's just you and the rim. So luckily, I had 2 good rounds. Hopefully I have 1 more good one.
All right, keep it going.
Thanks.
Dick?
All right, so Dennis Scott has his work cut out for him. He has the most 3-point field goals, and he had a total of 19 points. So, tell you, Legler off to a hot start, 2 off the best score in the first round. The highest score in the semifinals was also Craig Hodges with 24, and he had 22. So Legler right on the line with some of the best we've seen.
Dennis Scott is really looking to make 3 out of 5 balls in his corner. He said the corner shots are his best shots. It's the same shot in the game for me. That's the way I want to shoot it.
Well, this guy's as streaky a shooter as you can play against in the NBA. He made 9 in a row in this competition before. I've seen him make 9 in a row in games too. So he needs to get on a roll.
And also, he's been practicing picking the balls up from the left to the right. You saw as he came to that rack how he went around to the opposite side. He's been working on this. He wants to win this.
Fortunately, he's hitting those money balls. That's keeping him in the competition to this point.
His teammate at Orlando, Nick Anderson, was in the competition last year. 2 of them are the best tandem in the league at this.
Nick Anderson grabbed me from the sideline. He was in the stands. He said, Reggie, I got to come to the sideline so I can support my man. And he's over there in the corner right now, yelling at him. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that was huge. Oh, now, see, he's to the other side. He's shooting behind the backboard. That's a horse shot. You got to call that, baby. You got to call this money ball.
Oh, that's the second round. He missed that last money ball.
And 19 points. There's his teammates, Penny and Shaq.
You know what Dennis Scott needs to do on that last rack? He shoots the ball really well from the top of the key. He always has. But in that corner shot, Reggie, he needs to move the rack closer to the court so he doesn't have to shoot from behind the back.
Well, you guys work with him tomorrow morning, okay, for next year's competition. And the reaction from Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal at one point, Dennis Scott hit 11 out of 12 shots and winds up with 19, the same total he had in the first round. Of course, each round is decided separately.
I think 19's a solid number. I'm not sure, but 19 definitely a solid number in this competition.
It certainly puts the pressure on Kerr and Mcleod.
So here is George Mcleod, who had 18 and won in a tiebreaker as 3 shooters had a total of 18 in the first round. Let's see how Mcleod of the Dallas Mavericks does.
Here's a guy you know can get into a rhythm. Barely leaves the ground when he shoots the ball. Again, another person who likes to go from the right to the left, moving around the basket to get to the balls.
Well, Reggie, yesterday in the competition between you and I did a lot better that way, too. I actually beat you going that way.
No, you didn't, Danny.
19 to avoid elimination. That's what's staring in George Mcleod's face right now.
He said that the key for him was really to take my time. He said, if I make the balls, fine. If I leave one, fine.
Remember, he already had to shoot an extra round.
He's got to have that.
Well, see, right there, that ball was a little short.
Yeah, he can't win, Reggie. He can't win right now.
He missed 2 money balls, and that hurt him. Plus, Danny, a couple of shots went in and out. He didn't get the break on a few.
It's an impressive performance. I mean, the guy shot well.
I think he got a little tired. I felt that he was a little short. And because he's an arm shooter, that can happen to you.
17 points for George Mcleod, and he's not going to make the cut.
But you know what? It's not like this is a bad performance. 17 in the history of this event is an excellent score. He doesn't need to be ashamed. That's good shooting out there.
Hey, Danny, you were standing in front of the line when we were warming up, and you didn't get 17.
So here are the standings. Tim Legler and Dennis Scott. Mcleod with 17 will not advance, and now it depends on what Steve Kerr does. Now, Kerr also had to shoot an extra round in the tiebreaker, the 24-second, when 3 shooters had 18. That was his total. He did pretty well in the second rack.
Look, I don't really think that tiebreaker one really makes a difference. They're only shooting like 6 balls. If they had to do a full 60 seconds, I think it would have made a difference.
Kerr needs 19 to tie for second and 20 to qualify. That's what Steve Kerr of the Chicago Bulls faces, and of course throughout this year is a member of this fantastic team with only 5 losses. He's had a lot of pressure situations during this set.
Oh, absolutely, and he gets as many wide open jump shots as anybody in the league. Yeah, that's with Jordan and Pippen.
That's right, he should be really good because I have never seen him shoot one in anybody's face.
Needs to get off to a good start here, and he did.
He got the first money ball.
Now, if you notice, not like the other 2 shooters, Steve Kerr runs up on the same side of the rack and shoots from the left side of the rack instead of the right side.
He's got kind of funny rotation, Reggie. He shoots the ball with a little bit of a twister effect. Not your conventional pure shooter stroke, but he sure can make them.
But he shoots it high and soft.
That's a big one.
I think that has a big plus for him. If it hits the lip of the rim, it's definitely going to bounce in.
That was a big money ball in that rack. Number 3.
This is a big one, too.
Gotta have it. He needed it. He can do it.
Looks like he's rushing a little bit. He told me he didn't want to rush.
Gotta make all of them. He's gotta make this one. Gotta make this one or it's done.
Oh! Steve Kerr needed that money ball to stay alive, but he could not.
You should have saw Dennis. Look at Dennis Scott over there. He's very happy. He knew he was dead in the water if Kerr would have made that.
Well, Kerr right here, he knows because of his style, his jump shooting, that he's got to rush it. He knows he's got to hurry to get this money ball off. And right here, he hits the one he had to hit, hits the next one he had to hit, but the money ball he was rushing.
Does this count as a 6th loss for the Chicago Bulls?
Again, Dick, I don't think that's a loss. I mean, that is good shooting.
Here's Phil Jackson rooting his man on. Oh, so short. Let's go to Cheryl.
Oh, that's great.
I'm telling you something. You had your boys sweating some bullets over there. Came down to the last one. I know you were sweating some bullets over here.
I was sweating big bullets, Cheryl, and it's my 2nd time being in, and I finally get a chance to go for all the marbles. Hopefully I can stay hot one more time.
All right, bring it home. Have a good one, Ben.
So, Tim Legler and Dennis Scott have advanced to the finals of the AT&T Shootout, and one of these shooters is going to come away with $20,000 first prize.
Shoot first, which I think is great strategy because he's done so well shooting first in the first 2 rounds.
But not only that, it doesn't put any pressure on you. You don't have to sit there and watch this guy can all those shots, and your ball gets heavy after you see someone else shooting well.
22 points in the last round, 22 in the first. Pretty consistent. So Tim Legler.
You know, the only thing, Reggie, is I think that if I was Dennis Scott, I would have made Legler, since he chose to shoot first, shoot on the basket he had the shot on. He allowed to let Legler go ahead and shoot the basket that he's been tearing it up on.
That's a very good point. There's no way. You got to always make the guy go the opposite way, huh? Legler in another rhythm.
Oh, he finally missed the money ball.
Now this is where the ball starts getting a little heavy, knees start creaking a little bit.
He's got it going, 3 in a row.
He had 9 of his first 10 money balls.
Not shooting nearly as well as he did the first 2 rounds, though. Dennis Scott could definitely be in the running here.
And Dennis Scott is going to know what he has to do to win. That's the advantage he's going to have.
Right.
I don't know if he can put up a score of 20. I think that might be good enough. Big shot.
He's got it.
Well, the score of 20 is good, but Dennis Scott had 19, so
yeah, but this guy's done 3 in a row.
Juwan Howard. He is his coach on the sideline. Tim Legler, who was 13 for 15 on the money balls. That's a tremendous achievement.
That guy can shoot. I can't believe that guy has
Well, he leads the
you know
league.
what? I tell you something else. Anybody who's never shot one of these multicolored basketball, it takes some practice, because when you hold the ball up over your head, your eyes automatically go up to the different colors.
Hey, every NBA player that's watching this game right now, if they ever leave that guy open for a 3-pointer, they should be taken right out of the game, Reggie.
Immediately.
Tim Legler, 13 of 15 money balls, a total of 20. Now here's a consistent 3-point shooter. He went over the 20 mark in all 3 rounds.
And then that's never happened, has it?
I don't believe so.
No, I don't think that's ever happened.
That's huge.
So here are the numbers He was 6 points from the third rack, 5 from the fourth, and now Dennis Scott knows he needs at least 20.
Sometimes you get what you ask for. Dennis Scott said, I want to win this. I want to go talk stuff. Now the pressure's on him. What you going to do, big fella?
He's only missed 2 money balls in the first 2 rounds.
What do you think, Reggie? Can he do it?
I think he can do it. Will he do it? I think he will do it.
I don't think he will. I say no.
I say he can do it. I say he can't do it. Yes, he's still in it. He's got his rhythm. That money ball was big. He can get these next 3 racks. He's in good shape. And you know he's a rhythm shooter. Oh, I don't know. But his fate is in his own hands, guys. What do you think?
Nope, I don't think he can do it.
If he makes them all.
Up. That's it. That did him in. That middle rack. That's usually his best shot, too. The one from the top.
Well, he won't get to go talk stuff. He won't get to, hey guys, thanks for the check.
He's got the money ball, but it's too little too late. Tim Legler already celebrating over on the bench. He's going to get $20,000, and he's going to love every penny of it.
That was Tom's present for his wife, huh?
Yep. His wife has so that Tim could come here to compete. The baby was born on February 1st, his wife Jennifer. And how happy is Tim Legler and Jawan Howard, the Washington Bullets duo, as Tim Legler has won the 1996 AT&T Shootout.
It's so nice. It's apropos. New baby, wife, Valentine's Day. What a present. 20 grand in my pocket. I'm going home.
You know, that's just a lot of pressure on Dennis Scott. You know, when a guy goes out and makes 20 and you have to go out there and make 20, that is a lot of pressure in that
Danny,
competition.
I think the key was what you said earlier. He should have made Legler shoot to the other basket. I think that would have been big.
All right, Tim Legler has won. Rasheed Wallace at the winning basket in the rookie game. So far, a good day for the Bullets. Of AT&T to Tim Legler moments ago, getting the trophy for winning the shootout, and of course $20,000 first prize. And right now let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, I would say this is going to be the story of the weekend. Tim Legler, you've been in these competitions before in the CBA, but nobody was more thrilled to be here than you, and nobody's going to be more excited to be a winner.
No, not at all. This has been like a quest for me. First of all, just to get to the NBA and establish myself as a solid player, which I think I've done so far this year. And then to get in this competition to win this after watching all these years the great shooters, I can't explain how I feel right now.
Once your name was mentioned as one of the contestants, we're doing some research. I know your wife Jennifer really wanted to be here. You induced labor for the first time. You have a child, Lauren's about 9 days old. They're watching on TV. What do you say to Jennifer?
Jen, this is for you. For all the years you've been my rock in my life, and for you, little Lauren, I'll be home after I get back from Milwaukee. We're going to share this together. Thank you.
What kept you going through all those years of the CBA and USBL?
Perseverance, and I always knew I just have an inner drive within myself and a strong confidence in my ability to play this game, and I never let it get me down. But I think, without Jen to be there for me every time I would get cut or get released or I would go back to the CBA, she was always the one that was there for me to tell me that she knew she believed in me and I was an NBA player. So I just persevered all these years, and I believed in myself, and that's what it came down to.
Congratulations, champion.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Go back to Dick.
You got to feel great about Tim Legler. This is a great moment for him. He has won the AT&T Shootout. Dennis Scott was second, and here is how they finished. A total of $42,000 in prize money. And so we did not have a repeat champion, as Glen Rice did not survive, and most of the time we have had repeats.